I hate to admit this, but productivity and trying to get it all done can become an idol in my life. If I'm not careful, I can unintentionally neglect my family or other priorities. This has inspired me to be on a journey to be a more mindful homemaker in this area. I'm learning to apply practical skills I developed in my former career to create systems and routines at home to maximize my efficiency. This allows me to get as much done in a balanced and healthy way that honors other priorities and being present with my husband and children. In today's video, I'll be sharing several strategies you can easily incorporate into the flow of your home to be more productive, get it all done, and make life easier for you. But before we get started, I'd love to share some scripture with you that the busy mom and overwhelmed homemaker needs to hear. I'll be reading from Luke chapter 10, verses 38 through 42. Now, as they went on their way, Jesus entered a village, and a woman named Martha welcomed him into her house, as she had a sister called Mary, who sat at the Lord's feet and listened to his teaching. But Martha was distracted with much serving, and she went up to him and said, "Lord, do you not care that my sister has left me to serve alone? Tell her then to help me." But the Lord answered her, "Martha, Martha, you are anxious and troubled about many things, but one thing is necessary. Mary has chosen the good portion, which will not be taken away from her." The story of Mary and Martha is a parable that I meditate on nearly a daily basis. I often joke that I am a recovering Martha because my natural tendency is so focused on what needs to be done at hand. Unfortunately, this can come at the cost of sacrificing, most importantly, the time with Jesus and intentional quality time with my family. I have to constantly remind myself that putting Jesus first is always the priority. Yes, as homemakers, wives, and mothers, we have a duty at home to fulfill. But there's freedom in Christ if we can live out this call to choose the good portion, to sit at the Lord's feet and listen to his voice. My name is Daisy. I'm a wife and mama of 2 boys. I'm here to encourage you in motherhood and help you apply the Bible into the mundane aspects of homemaking. My channel is inspired by Titus 2, verses 3 to 5, which says, "Older women, likewise, are to be reverent in their behavior, not malicious gossips, nor enslaved to much wine, teaching what is good, so that they may encourage the young women to love their husbands, to love their children, to be sensible, pure, workers at home, kind, being subject to their own husbands, so that the word of God will not be dishonored." My mission is to build a community of women who are both teaching and learning to be godly wives and mothers rooted in biblical truth. As we get started, you've been watching me arrange this assortment of flowers that I have been loving getting the Safeway $5 Friday bouquets. It's been such an affordable way of adding some beautiful color into my home while staying in budget. Okay, so my first practical tip on being more productive at home is to double batch or freeze convenience items that you would typically buy canned or pre-frozen. Now, I have talked about this quite a few times in my channel throughout different videos because it is something that I truly do in literally a daily basis. So here you are watching me freeze or getting some beans, whole beans in freezer bags, and I am actually weighing it to be 15 ounces because if you take a look at the amount that you would find in a typical can, it is 15 ounces. So a lot of recipes will call for the number of ounces based on prepackaged cans. So I figured I would go ahead and freeze it based on the canned amount. So if I am referencing a recipe, I can just go ahead and grab a bag of that. And one thing that I recently learned, I am Mexican, so I've been eating beans all of my life, but I never knew that if you soak them for a span of even up to 36 hours, which sounds absolutely bonkers, but if you are able to soak them for an extended amount of time, it will decrease the amount of gas that is often associated with beans. Let me know if you already knew about this cooking hack. Maybe I had been living under a rock. I don't know, but I am so glad that I know about this. So that's what I did. I made a big batch of beans. Honestly, I could have made an even bigger batch because I froze so much of it that I didn't really have much left over for myself to eat, but I was really determined to add some to my freezer stash, which I actually just thawed some out for a meal yesterday, so it has really come in handy to do this. So if you are going to be freezing things, I have 2 recommendations for you. One, label whatever you're freezing, because sometimes when things freeze, it's hard to tell what it is. And I am labeling that these are whole beans and that they are already seasoned, so I don't accidentally put too much salt if I think that they are unseasoned. And then 2, try and freeze things as flat as possible so that it saves storage space in your freezer. So I've been loving using just my sheet cookie pans, I believe they are called, so that it's just not taking up too much space in my freezer, but they freeze flat and it's been so convenient. You can also add the date for good measure, even though I already knew that I would be eating these way within the time that they can be safely frozen, but I added the date anyway that I was freezing them. As you can see, this video was filmed back in September, and anything that I forget to add to my family calendar, I will most likely forget. So if I forget to put something on my whiteboard, it's probably not going to happen unless you follow up with me, so I'm sorry. Anyway, I am also adding some refried beans. For some reason, it didn't film when I was actually cooking them and then adding them, weighing them, putting them in the bags, but I also took some of my whole beans and fried them. Okay, here's another. If you are a toddler mom, and I'm sure this could work with older children too, but I have been making these banana oatmeal pancakes for literally like 2 years now, and they are my son's favorite thing to eat for breakfast. It's the one thing that he will never say no to. I will add that in the description box, the recipe, and yeah, it's one thing that I also love to batch make, especially when we have a lot of bananas that are becoming a little overripe. I just like to use that as my sign to make these big batches of banana pancakes. And as you can see, I'm already having my cookie sheet handy so that I can get them in the freezer. I let them cool off first, but I like to freeze them this way because if you didn't know, when you freeze them like this and then put them into the freezer storage bags, they won't stick to each other really bad, because sometimes if you just throw everything into a freezer bag without freezing them individually like this, they'll just stick together and then it'll just not be ideal. But here's another thing that I made a double batch of, and that's hamburger buns. I also ended up making some very big hot dog buns, which basically were like hoagies, I think is what they're called. And I ran out of parchment paper, so I just oiled the bottom of the cookie sheet, but I ended up having to go in with a little spatula to loosen them up. But I absolutely love my homemade burger bun, so I'm so excited that I have some ready in the freezer for a future time, because usually we don't have burgers very often, but whenever my husband is craving some or I'm craving some, he's like, can you make burger buns? And then, I mean, it's not super time consuming, but then I gotta plan it in my day or, the week ahead. But now I know that we have spare, so that I can probably get like at least 2 or 3 meals worth of burgers, because I mean, maybe we'll have a few here and there. But anyway, I'm just letting them cool off in the cooling rack, and you will see that I made some really big hot dog buns, as you can, maybe you can't tell, I'm not sure, but they were huge. I probably should have cut the grams in half for the intention, what I had intended to be hot dog buns, but these were literally huge. I still use them for hot dogs, but the proportion of, the franks to the actual bun it was a little bit too much, but that's okay. My toddler loves bread just like his mom. Okay, I'm literally doing a 180, going from talking about burgers and hot dogs to me working out. But if you want to prioritize your health like me, work out with your kids. There's a few mommy and me YouTube videos that I do with my boys. My toddler was getting very jealous, so I had to be alternating between the two of them. But it's honestly such a good workout. You get some quality time in with your kids, and it's just overall a really great way of combining personal time with also something that fun that you can do with your kids. And my toddler enjoys it, my baby enjoys it, and I get a good sweat in. If you are watching this video, then you have reached the thrift portion of this content, but I am absolutely obsessed with baskets. I always look at it at the thrift store. I literally want to make a whole video dedicated to thrifting baskets because I feel like there's so many things to consider. This is the one that I ended up getting, which looks like a frying pan, which ended up going in my kitchen, so you'll probably see that in all of my videos moving forward, actually. And anyway, I show some other baskets that I really liked. Oh, I actually also picked up this one, which is sitting in my diaper cart for all of their lotions and what is that called? The thing that cutting nail. What, I am totally blanking out. I'm so sorry. It's like 9:47 p.m. at the time of this recording. How cute is this basket? Okay, I'm gonna try and quickly go through the rest of my practical tips to be productive in your home, but just know that I'm recording a lot of thrift content, and I'm just showing you some of the things that I was looking for. Anyway, going back real quick to batch cooking convenience items, you can also do this with leftover food. Sometimes I make way too much rice, so that's another thing, that instead of using those instant rice packets, just freeze the ones that you have left over if you know you're not going to eat them. Then it'll be really handy for another time. If you have leftover food, that's another good one. I cannot manage to have a lot of leftover food. Let me know if you have a big family and you can cook large amounts. How do you do it? Because my pots are not big enough, and I just don't really have enough leftover food that's not just like for the next day. I just don't have enough leftover food. I don't know how you ladies do it, so please let me know. I don't know if I'm overthinking it. Do I just need to get bigger pans? Do I need to have like all burners going at once? Because I would love to have more home cooked meals from scratch that are frozen, but I can usually only manage like a small leftover bag for a serving for me, really. But anyway, I was thrifting for pants for my son this day because he is outgrowing his pants and shorts. I've thrifted recently all his shorts, and now as we're getting into a little bit of the cooler months, or sometimes when we go out in the evenings, I need pants for him. So I found, look at that price, $1.49, such a good deal. A lot of the stuff at the thrift store is like way too expensive. I would rather just buy it new at that point, but it's also more eco-friendly to shop at the thrift store. So that's honestly why I prefer to do it. Yes, I can get good deals at certain stores, and always, as you saw, look for stains, rips, etc. But sorry, I hope that you ladies don't mind that this video is a compilation of different days and different scenarios. Honestly, I don't plan when I film, so a lot of the time you won't see me dolled up. I won't have makeup on. My hair will probably be messed up because that's just the reality of my life. But you know, that is truly an authentic look at my life. When you see me, I mean, it's pretty random that I will pick up my camera and just decide that I'm going to be filming that day. So, yeah, that's just a raw and real look into my life. I really wanted to get these Disney pajamas that you will see shortly, and they were a size, I think, 12 to 18 months, which technically should fit my 8-month-old, but they were just way too small. Once I got to the checkout, I was looking over all of my items and I realized this is just not going to work. And if you know me, I recently posted a thrift video and I talk about how obsessed I am with overalls. And I found these that are shorts, but they were too small. I was also on the search for a new sugar container because I accidentally dropped the lid off my old one, which was very sad. I still kept the canister, but I just don't have a lift for it. So I've just been storing my measuring spoons, but I ended up finding that neutral colored one with the beige, yes, that one, for $3.99, and I had a coupon and I wasn't sure about it because it's so plain, but I did end up purchasing and I absolutely love it. Okay, so I guess we are officially having a small interim thrift store discussion, but I was looking for a new Bible and then if I could get lucky, some Bible commentary. If you know of a good Bible commentary, please let me know, but I am looking for a word for word translation. So I was just seeing what they had available. I ended up finding a Spanish one that I really considered getting because I do want to improve my fluency in Spanish. I am fluent. I speak Spanish, but it's just not super fluid. So I considered getting this, but I was not sure the translation or just the background, so I decided not to get it. I did purchase this specific King James Bible, which is just a standard basic Bible, and I've been using it whenever I come on certain scripture that I just want to see the word for word translation, because I do use an NIV study Bible as my primary Bible at the moment, but I do want to get either maybe an ESV or an NASB. I'm not sure, but do stay away from any paraphrase. Do your research on what Bible translations you have. I found a lot of books that I just would not recommend. You'll see me talking about some of them. I did find another book that I was really excited to find that you will see in just a minute. But I was just browsing through all of the Christian book selection. Okay, I'm going to quickly go through some of my other practical tips in the kitchen. One is to clean while your food is cooking. If you watch my other homemaking videos, you've likely watched me balance cooking and cleaning simultaneously in the kitchen. This can easily be done while your meat is marinating. You can start washing some of the dishes, like the cutting boards, the knives that you use to cut your meat, the veggies, while things are heating up in the pan. You can start putting away any spices that you are no longer going to be using, etc., instead of just leaving it all to the end. You can also prep dinner items early in the day. I actually talk more about this in depth in several of my other cooking videos that I can leave in the description box. But I talk about this specifically in my cooking with kids video because I know that it's a challenge for us moms to cook with young little children around. So that is something that you can do throughout the day instead of trying to get it all done in the hours leading up to dinner time. Okay, I'm so excited. I've heard of this book, The Power of a Praying Wife. Yes, I'm getting this one. I'm trying not to buy so many books, but I feel like it's different when you're thrifting it. You are now watching a cute little family hug. My son loves to have family hugs, which is absolutely adorable, and I love it, and I'm so glad that I captured this on video so I can look back on it when he is much older and I can just remember fondly these memories. But really quickly, I have a few more tips, and the next one is to incorporate your children into your chores. My toddler always loves to help me unload the dishwasher. You've probably seen it in a few different videos. If you are not a new subscriber watching me for the first time, but this has actually been really great because we name all the dishes together, which has helped with his vocabulary and his speech. So as he's passing things to me, I tell him, okay, that's a big spoon, this is a little spoon, this is a bowl, and now he does it on his own, which is really fun to just see him learn practical tips or practical skills while extending his vocabulary. And then last tip is to passively multitask. What I mean by this is there are certain tasks, specifically like doing laundry, that you can just throw it in real fast into the washing machine and all you have to do is wait. It will literally do the work for you. If you think about it, your washer and dryer is doing 2/3 of the work for you. It's washing it and drying it for you. My mom would tell me stories about her growing up and literally washing clothes in a river on a rock. She would tell me that washing the baby's diapers was her favorite. I don't know why that would be her favorite, but that's something that she would share with me. And, you know, it's so crazy that that was her upbringing and that was just one generation ago. And now I'm over here just throwing stuff into the laundry to wash it for me. So all we have to do is throw it in and then just put it away. So if you think about it, machines are doing 2/3 of the work and we are only doing 33% of it. That's a breakdown, right? Yeah, 33%. So when you think about it that way, it doesn't feel so daunting, and maybe that will help you have a new appreciation for your laundry machine. I have a challenge for you this week. What is one tip that I gave you today that you can incorporate into your homemaking as soon as possible to make your life easier? Let me know in the comments below. And if you have your own productivity hacks that you incorporate into your homemaking, I would love to just see all of your comments below so that the comment section can just be one big thread of practical tips that we can all take and learn from each other. Your engagement with me in the comments not only encourages me to continue making Christian content, but it also helps other women looking for fellowship and biblical encouragement find this video. If you found this helpful, I would love for you to leave a flower emoji that lets me know that you resonated with this message. I'd love to continue sharing my journey as a homemaker with you. If you're looking for more videos of homemaking just like this, I have plenty more. Please give it a like, subscribe for more content, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.